Hi everyone, it's Shari Carroll for SimonsSaysStamp.com, and today I'm making a holiday photo card with one of my favorite subjects. So I'm starting off with a wallet-sized photo of Melody, and I'll be creating a frame out of this wood grain paper, and this is from the Yuletide collection from Tim Holtz. And I'm using the stitched rectangle die, and also I've put the oval in the center. So I've taped those together and I have just die cut that first panel, the wood grain panel. So next I want to back this with a piece of red cardstock, and I also want to cut the oval lined up in the center. So I'm just going to put that die right into that area, and then I can go ahead and run that through my die cut machine. And once it's die cut, I can go ahead and remove it, and I have a matching piece so that I can create my window. And that frames my little picture of Melody just perfect. So I want to add a piece of acetate to the back of just the wood grain piece only, and this is the Hero Arts acetate. So I'm going to add some of my tape adhesive just to the back, and I'm going to go ahead and go around that oval a little bit. And now I can go ahead and line that up and press that down. I've added some foam tape to the back of the acetate, and I'm going to go ahead and put that right back onto that red piece so that it lifts off a bit. And once I have that in place with a couple small pieces, I can go ahead and take off the backing of the rest. And this will give me a really nice start for a really sturdy frame. When the picture sits in the frame, it needs a little stop so that it doesn't slide down into the bottom. So I've added some foam tape to the bottom and also on the sides, and that will create rails so that photo can slide in and out. Then I can trim off the top pieces and go ahead and give that a test run. I want to stamp the top portion of my Desert Storm cardstock, and I have the holiday background from Simon Says Stamp, and I'll be stamping this with the Simon Says Stamp white ink. So I'm going to go ahead and start inking this up, and I like to go over it several times to make sure I have really good coverage. And I've only inked up just in the area where I'm going to be placing my card. So I want to line this up really well since the words go horizontal and I don't want them to look wonky. So once I have that in place, I can put down a paper towel or scrap paper and go ahead and press that paper onto the stamp. I've added some paper to the bottom of my card, and that's also from the Tim Holtz Yuletide papers. And I'm going to start placing my frame on now, deciding on where I want everything to sit. So I'm going to go ahead and peel off the back of that foam tape that is on the frame, and just kind of eyeballing that, I'm going to go ahead and press that down into place. Next, I've needed to add a little tab to the top of the photo, and I'm just folded over a strip of paper, and I'll be using my corner chomper. I'm using the 1/4 inch size and just rounding those corners off a little bit. And then I can add some adhesive just to the bottom portion, and people can pull that off when they get the photo. And also I need to put a little hole in the top so that I can add a string. So now I have a fun little slider card for that photo. I'm going to start embellishing the front, and I've cut up some of the Tim Holtz Yuletide papers. It has really fun sayings. So this one is "Believe in the Magic of Christmas." So I'm going to go ahead and cut this up and add this to my card. I do want these to sit up a little bit, so I've cut a really thin strip of foam tape, and then those can sit up and just add a little bit more dimension. So I've cut up both of my pieces here and have added both of them to the top portion of my frame. And next I want to add some juniper, and this is the juniper punch from Tim Holtz, and I've just punched out some olive cardstock from Simon Says Stamp just to add a little bit of greenery. So to add this on, I'm just going to put some tape runner just onto the back in a couple places, and then I can just go ahead and tack these on in place. I've cut up little red pieces of paper to create some holly balls to add a punch of color down to the bottom. And to finish up, I've added a little bit of glossy accents to those holly pieces, and I can show you how easily it is to slide that photo out for the recipient. So I will admit I did move a few things around. I slid my frame down a little bit and readjusted my wording. I felt it gave it a little bit more balance. This frame would also work as a gift card holder if you wanted to do that instead of a photo. So I hope I've given you some inspiration on adding photos to your holiday cards. And as always, thanks for watching.